Happy President's Day, crafty crew. This is Creative Juice by Lonnie here to bring you some creative confidence with paper, rubber stamps, and ink. We are live every Monday here on my YouTube channel as well as my Facebook page, both Creative Juice by Lonnie, easy to find. That's Loni. You can see that right here. And we have 10 days of celebration left. 10 days of celebration. Celebration is Stampin' Up's biggest party all year long. And with every $50 that you purchase, you get to choose something free. And there's so many choices from rubber stamps to paper to embellishments to kits, punches. We've got everything. They even added more this month. So you've got punches and well, some of them are worth, some of them you are free to choose at $100. And then the rest of these are at $50. Kits that you can use, memory albums, I mean, everything. So 10 days left. You got 10 days left. So I figured it was time to pull out the Jungle Pals. Now, the Jungle Pals has a stamp set that is free to choose at $50 spend limit. Plus, if you have another $100, you could get the coordinating dies in orders. So this is a really wild, a wild set to play with, especially if you have kids or to let them play with. I think my grandkids are going to have a great time playing with this. In fact, I had one here this morning and she really wanted to play with it. And I said, not till grandma's done playing. So maybe later today we'll give her a chance. Okay, let's start doing a little bit of stamping. And I like to show you very simple cards when I'm here on Mondays to help you feel like, oh yeah, I can do that. So if you're like, I can do that and I can do it better, then you should join my team. If you say, oh yes, I can do that and I want to try it, I'm glad to be able to share this with you. Now, one little note, there are a lot of discounted places trying to sell you copy infringements of our stamps, our dies. Don't fall for it. Don't fall for it because they're not teaching you how to use it. So come back and we teach you how to use it as demonstrators and support your local demonstrator. Okay, so this, you'll notice that this little stamp set does not have any words. We're going to add some today. You can use whatever you want. You can use an alphabet stamp or dies. Add your own. Make it your own. What we will need today for your card, for this pop-up card, and this is a basic, I'm just going to teach a basic pop-up that many of you may already know, but it's good to have in your back pocket when you are crafting to say, oh yeah, I could make this a pop-up card. You're going to need a black card base that is, okay, making sure I'm on there, yep, that is 8.5 by 5.5, scored in half at 4 1/4. You'll become a master of math too as a crafter. You'll need a white cardstock that is 8 1/4, yes, by 5 1/4. So 8 1/4 by 5 1/4, you're going to score that in half at 4 1/8. So it's just a little bit smaller. So when I open this up, it's going to fit inside here like this. Can you see that with a little black all the way around it? Then I am using a piece of our designer series paper from our January-April mini catalog called Rock and Roll. It's all black and white, and black and white patterns are a good investment for crafters because you can color them or sponge them or whatever you'd like to do. I chose this pattern right here. So the backside of the guitar pattern sheet, there's the word. That's what I'm going to use. And I've cut that down to about 5.5 to fit on the front of my card. And then just a little bit over half an inch, maybe not quite a half an inch. So yeah, let's find out right here. We can measure that. It is 3 7/8 by 5.5. 3 7/8. Hello, Carlene. Glad to see you here today. Always. Hope you're enjoying President's Day. You might be out spending some money. Might as well spend it on stamps, right? All right. And then the other thing that you might want to grab or use in yours I have 5 little colors, and I chose them all out of the same color family. These are the Regals. We've got Real Red, Crushed Curry, Old Olive, Pretty Peacock, and Gorgeous Grape. And these are 1 1/4 inch squares. And then you're going to have 5 1 3/8 inch squares. It really is easy to do. Yeah, stamps is much better on President's Day, and we've even got our sale going. Our wonderful sale. So first thing I'm going to do is color. No, I'm going to stamp. I'm going to stamp first, and I'm only using black ink on this first part. So I've got my toucan ready to go, mounted on a clear block. Ooh, that is a very juicy clear block. Let's kind of get some of that off. So we don't have, we're just going to tap, tap, tap. I'm going to turn it point up, point down. So we're going to stamp so that it's kind of like a diamond shape. There's our first little guy. And this is so easy. You don't have to do any coloring. You could let the person color them yourself. I guess you can make a coloring book out of this. Same thing here with my crushed curry. I'm going to put their tiger face on that one. And you're only going to get part of it. No worries. That's just exactly what we want. We're just kind of doing a little spotlight here. Clean up. And then you do that with the rest of them. And we're going to mount them on our white, pardon me, our white 1 3/8 inch squares. So toucan. Oh, let's see if we can get it on there somewhat straight. Luckily, the Stampin' Seal is a little bit repositionable. There we go. Very simple stamping. This is a simple stamping project, but with kind of a fun twist on the inside of your card. So I've got 1, 2, and through the magic of television, I've got the sloth. I've got the alligator already stamped. And then whatever this guy is, lemur. I guess he's a lemur. He's on purple. We've got those colors. So I've pulled out of this Regals Stampin' Write markers. These are water-based. These are not our alcohol markers. These are just water-based. And this is where I'm going to make my paper my own. You can see that I probably need to get some new Stampin' Write markers, but it's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. I'm going to color about 4 or 5 lines, and it doesn't have to be perfect. You're just coloring them quickly. I think we'll start with 4. On the Real Red, thinking of the colors of the rainbow. So you've got red, orange, yellow. I'm skipping orange because we're only doing 5 colors, and I chose to grab my orange is usually the one I go to, but I grabbed my crushed curry instead because I knew it would make it fun to have some bright. I want some bright colors on this a card for kids. I think that's about good. 4 more lines. Old Olive. So we're just going right down the little colors of the rainbow. We have a lot of birthdays coming up in March, so I could use this for my grandson. I may do an extra one there. Okay. I know that I have just 2 more colors coming. Pretty Peacock. So really, look at these black and white papers. They're rock and roll papers in a new way. And you're going to say, oh, wow. Well, yeah, I guess I could do that. I could use that black and white because they can be used classically. They can be colored to whatever color you need. Okay, we're almost done here, and then we'll do the inside. We're almost done with the outside, then we'll do the inside. Okay. Got it? There's our beautiful, beautiful colored paper. Let's start. We're going to put aside the white here. We're going to start by putting this on the front of our card. We'll use our Stampin' Seal on top of the guitars. Thanks, Gina. I'm glad you like that trick. It is a clever little trick to make your own paper, whatever color that you want. Yeah, for sure. I know, it's true. Sometimes you do fall in love with the paper more when it's colored, right? But just kind of give it a good look and say, "Oh yeah." Okay, now we're going to add our little guys, our little jungle animals. So I'll get them all adhered or all inked up here. Not inked up, rather. I'll get them adhered up. Okay. Find my toucan. He's going to go at the top. We're going to put him right here with a little bit over the edge. And don't push them down yet because we want to make sure that they're really in the space that we want them. So red, yellow is going to go next. Green. And I'm going to line up this point and that point so that they're kind of the same way going down. Same here for the blue, my little sloth. He's going to line up with our, pardon me, the point of our yellow piece, and then finally purple down here at the bottom. And if it looks good, go ahead and give it a rub. So that white little mat around each of those really brings the pop of color, right? Love that. Okay, cut off the back. Just take it off the back, and if you've got some designer series paper that's hanging over, just chop that off too. Okay, and then this piece. Okay, so there's our card front. Basically, I want to add, I always like adding ribbon. Ribbon is my signature thing. This is some of our about to retire parakeet party. What is this called? Metallic woven ribbon. It's not exactly the same color, but it's close enough. And I want that just to be right along this place where the paper meets the cardstock. And here, I'm going to just take this ribbon because it's very loose ribbon and just fray it to give it kind of a wild look. So pull it apart and let all of the shimmery pieces just kind of come apart. So that's our front of our card. Very simple. You don't have to do any coloring. I love that when it's simple. Okay, can you see that frayed ribbon? It's kind of fun and wild, right? Okay, clean up a little bit. That's the outside of our card, ready to go. The sunshine's not working to give me a lot of light here today. I do have this light on. Let's see, can we change it? Oh, that gives us a little more light. Okay, so that's the outside. Let's make the inside that pops up. Okay, let me do a little cleanup so I don't get my white in the ink that's left on my glass mat. This time we're going to actually do a little bit of trimming and scoring. Actually, just scoring. Okay, what I have here now is a 1.5 inch square and a 1 3/4 inch crushed curry square. And I'm going to, I cut them apart in my original one, but I think I'm going to just try scoring them, and then I'll show you my original one in a minute. So make sure you're using the light blade. There's a dark, that's the cut, light blade. Line up your little squares right along the cutting or scoring channel. Hold that down, and I'm going to score it right in the middle, point to opposite point. Same here for the yellow. It might work out better to cut, but I'm going to try it with a score. Same there. So I've got Those two scored. Now, while I have it out, I'm also going to take my inside paper, just flip it over on the back side, or it would be the outside of your card. We're going to do a little measuring. We want to measure up 1 1/4 inches. So I've got my little 1 1/4 right here. I'm going to mark right there. Doesn't matter. This part is not going to be seen, so it does not matter. And 1 1/4 from the center score this direction, and the center score this direction, which would be 2 1/4 if I move it over. So I've got 1 1/4 inches along my score line here on the score, and then here. Let's do a little bit more scoring. Put your cardstock back in here, and thank you. Thank you. It is a cute card. It's going to be a really cute card. We're going to line up those marks along the scoring channel, or where you can see it. Okay, so I'm going to start right here. Score from mark to mark, and then turn it a little bit and get those marks again in your channel. Score from mark to mark. You can also and then if you want to, you can erase. Sorry, I was going to say you could just score on one, or use a steel ruler, and you could do that too. Okay, so we're going to just push this little piece in like that. That creates our mechanism that will pop out in just a moment, like that. Ta-da! See how it pops up? Okay. So we don't have any words, and I have used for this one, this is called So Sincere, and I used it because it has this happy birthday that is vertical. And that's why I chose that. I want to stamp happy on one side of my score line here and birthday on the other. So I'm just going to ink up the happy, make sure it's good and inky. Let's see if it works. Happy on one side, clean off my stamp with a little bit of water. Move my stamp up so I've got it on the block, and birthday. Birthday on this side. This one's a little trickier. It's a little longer, but we're going to make it work. Happy birthday. There you go. It's going to go right on there like that. I think we're done with the black. We can put that away for a moment. Okay, let's adhere our pop-up piece to each other. It's actually, we want to do a little scoring here. We want to make sure it's nice and crisp. So I folded it away from me, and then we're going to put it on together so that it goes like this. Then it's going to pop up and say happy birthday. You could add some balloons or something on here if you want to, but I'm making this very easy so that you know you can do it. You can also just glue something to either side. So in my original one, I cut this right down the middle. I'll show you that in just a minute. But this time I'm going to see if it will work. I'm going to use my Stampin' Seal Plus here, or you could use the liquid glue, whatever you've got on hand that will be really sticky, because this is the piece that moves up and down. Okay, I'm going to put it right here flat, just inside the score lines. So I've got the little score lines right here. And now watch what happens. If I can kind of force it to move. There we go. When you open it up, it opens up like this. And when it closes, it goes like that. Da, 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 da. So we want to put some adhesive. Oh, before I do that, I'm going to do a little bit of stamping. You could use your markers to draw right on your stamps. Let's see. I'm going to use my purple one because I've got my little lemur right here. So you could use your markers. These Stampin' Right markers are good for coloring right on your stamps because they're water-based. Stampin' Blends do not color on your stamps. They just won't work. I'm going to put him right over here on this side. And then let's do some of our other ones. Or you could use, if you happen to have the coordinating ink pads, just go ahead and stamp these little guys in the same colors. So I've got my toucan. We'll put him over here. Red. I've got crushed curry. It's a little faster to stamp with, obviously, your ink pads than it is with the markers, but you can do it with either one. So I've got crushed curry. I need to just take that off. Oops, sorry, didn't mean to move you. What did I do with my stamp set? Here it is. Because I need to get my other two out that I don't have on my blocks yet. So I've taken off my, took off my tiger and put on the crocodile. We'll use our old olive ink pad. And we'll let their tails entangle there. Doesn't even matter. And here's the sloth. One of the 7 deadly sins, sloth. But if you're stamping, that is not being slothful. This one reminds me of my sister-in-law. She loves sloths. Or at least her kids think she likes sloths. I don't know. Hello. Hello, Megan, aka Mary. Happy to have you here. This is a fun set to have on hand for kids and anybody who loves animals. Okay, I'll clean that up in a minute. Now we're ready to put it inside of our card. And I'll show you my original one, which is pretty much the same, except that I cut up the center of the mechanism. I want to make sure I have it on all 4 sides really well. So I've got all my adhesive. We're going to put it in the front side first. Just put it into your card. Make sure it's got a little bit on top and the bottom. Pardon me. And my fingers are getting stuck to the card instead of... Okay, there we go. Close it so that it's on that side. And then we'll just open it out on this side and do the same thing. A little bit of Seal Plus around all 5 sides when you have this little piece right here, our mechanism. So here you go. There you've got a little bling on the front, a little frayed ribbon. You can move that ribbon to wherever you want before you put your inside in. And then when you open it up, ta-da, it says happy birthday. It pops up with happy birthday. Happy birthday. And all of the little guys. So this one, the first one that I made this morning, I didn't put any ribbon on it. And I cut up the center of this happy birthday. And it lays out pretty nicely. But I don't know. I think it lays out pretty nicely like that too. It's not too bad. Thank you. Isn't that fun? Isn't that just kind of a fun way to do it? So you can kind of play around with things that you could put on here. I made this very simple. It's just a square. But there's a lot of different things that you could make. You can make this a larger pop-up area where you fold it clear down to here and put in butterflies or anything on those 2 little sections that we created with a simple pop-up card on the inside. It's good to have this idea, this skill ready at your disposal so that you can use it for lots of different ideas. You can make the front however you'd like. I just wanted to show you this, wanted to have a chance before our last 10 days of celebration is over to show you the Jungle Pals stamp set. And again, this one you can choose for $50 with a $50 order. There's lots of choices. This is just one of them. And then with a $100 order, you can get the coordinating dies. I do plan on sharing a card made with both of the stamps and the dies later this week on my creativejuicebylonnie.com blog, website, whatever you want to call it. But this one will be up there today with hopefully most of the little measurements. I hope it will be up there today. Might be up there tomorrow. We'll see how things go. It is President's Day, and I got to go play, right? So there you go. You've got lots of fun one fun way to use this stamp set in any color that you want. Make it your own. Make it your very own. All right. Thanks for joining me here on a beautiful President's Day. May you have fun crafting today. Make something that means something and share it with someone. If you need to order these items, of course, they're always in the creativejuicebylonnie.com. We'll have all supplies listed, and you can buy what you need and get something free. All right? Okay. Thank you, guys. We'll see you next Monday. Of course, it'll be our last celebration crafting. So don't miss that. We'll see you then.